Welcome back, folks, for another recap here of Snowfall, episode 8 time, folks. Celebration, love is in the air. Louie and Jerome getting ready to tie the knot officially this soon. Wasn't expecting that. But as the usuals, Lucas and Niger, because we're going to switch sides real quick. I knew we were going to do that one show, but hey, it is what it is.
Dang it. Now you make me feel like I'm on LSD because I was not.
Oh man, but this episode was definitely a very uncasual one. Of all things that have happened thus far, I wasn't expecting the tone of this episode being the way it is. And not just that, we also got like many time jumps here, because when we last seen Jerome, he had went back to the crib, and that was, you know, to better himself. So we kind of thought like, maybe we're going to go back to his roots. Maybe we're going to get a little bit of self-care, a little, you know, diving into mental health and whatnot. Maybe. Oh, who knows what it was going to be. But with that being said,
you got my man with a fresh bush with no Jerry curl instead to let you know his mental health was good.
So we know that it had been at least 3 weeks from that. From one conversation. And then in another conversation, he had talked about when they were going to, or somebody had talked about when they were going to tie the knot, and they said, well, in a month. So there you have it. About 2 months had jumped from everything that had happened with it. So there's that. But yeah, let's get into tonight's episode. We're going to kind of go in order of things that happened and kind of jump around a little bit, because this episode, let's be honest, wasn't a lot that went on. It was pretty crazy. We do know what the episode plot was in terms of Sissy almost inadvertently giving her son up by whatever means, but we'll talk about that. But it's just a celebration of love. The two finally done did it. But also people were kind of shifting their pawns in different positions on the chessboard here. Starting out with Louie going to talk to Teddy.
The biggest moment of the episode, actually.
I was going to go to the Colombians, but I figured I'd come to you. You know, better the devil I know than the one I don't. Here.
Hey,
what's your thoughts?
Look here, the moment that happened, I said, oh shit. Because Teddy's in a weird situation where he no longer trusts Franklin. What better for him to do than someone who he's always done good business with? And I know he's thinking like, yeah, you're going behind Franklin's back, but you're going behind Franklin's back because you have no ambition past being a drug dealer. And that's all Teddy wants. He hates the point that Franklin has ambition. He hates the point that Franklin wants to better himself. He's like, nah, we in this for one thing and one thing only. And he knows that Louie is in it for one thing only, because if she wasn't, she wouldn't have come to him on her own. And that was the key thing. And I'm like, okay, clearly, and you can see he's not thrown off, because do you think he'd have took the meeting? It's clear that he has no issue supplying her, which is kind of weird from in the beginning of the season when he told Franklin, you need to get your house in order. Instead, he's now taking the opportunity to put Franklin's house in order.
Well said, man. And I think that's great, because with one may say this episode didn't push the season needle forward, because it's almost like a comedic. Well, let me hear me out.
Yeah, no. I know what people would say. That's what I'm saying.
Right? They're gonna say, yeah, this episode was a throwaway. They were just fooling around off LSD the entire time and comedic act. And this man, Franklin, got the zoomies like a cat, like bouncing out everywhere.
Man,
but there was also some very important tidbits that was in this, though. But this was definitely one. I thought it was important to make sure, like, hey, before all the fun and games, just realize that this is happening, along with what happened at the end. So the middle might have been a little bit fluffy, but the edges were really rough, and that's what was important.
I would say the middle, which we're going to get into, the middle is extremely interesting. You got to pay attention to, like, when all of them are going through their trips, pay attention to their responses to things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, my goodness, like Leon's trip told way more about him than anything else, and hurt the hell out of Wanda's feelings.
Interesting.
And Franklin's trip shows that while he's stoic on the outside, all those demons that came out, anyone who's ever, I know Najir's a dare kid, he's never done drugs, but anyone who's done a hallucinogenic drug, whether it be LSD, whether it be mushrooms.
What would you call yourself then if you're not a dare kid?
No, I'm not, because I've done both. But I'm not gonna lie about it. I've done both. But when you do it, when Sissy gave the advice, go with the trip, because if you don't go with the trip, all your inner demons come out. And that is the key part with Franklin here, is because it shows his inner demons and his insecurities. And if you pay attention to this episode, that's what you see more than anything else. These are ongoing issues that are in turmoil with Franklin, and he's not dealt with any of them. And that's what I got the most from his trip. And his trip is extremely interesting, from everything you see him doing, how paranoid he gets, how all of a sudden he's extremely comfortable around certain people. You got to pay attention to that, because the trip will reveal your true feelings. Kind of like the way they used to tell us, when a person get drunk, they get to talking, those are their true feelings.
Yeah. So Sissy gets approached by whatever his name again. He's like, I need God to give me your son. And he's like, you're not refused. I'm not giving you this whatever recording you're trying to get. You're not getting that. But just in case you may be available in about a month, there's this wedding that you could come to. All right, bro, help me out here. What was her plan? Because I didn't get this one.
Her plan one wasn't to get high off of LSD and try to actually put something together. I'm assuming her plan was, she was thinking it was a chance that Teddy would get invited to the wedding.
Oh, come on now.
It has, other than that, it literally makes no sense. Because one, how many business associates did you think would be there besides your family? So she had to think someone was going to get invited to this thing that could help them not have to go after Franklin.
Yo, she literally she wiretapped the entire wedding.
Hey, completely. Like, she is the world's worst mom all of a sudden. Like,
her what do we be saying? Her, not popularity. What do they call it? Her popularity in the polls have definitely dropped after this one. Like, she's not doing good.
She like Kamala all of a sudden. Them Jones.
There we go.
We did it, Joe. Them Joe dropped to the floor. Like, it makes no sense. Not only this, but as you see, again, when I say with the LSD, all your insecurities come out. All the things you've been holding in comes out.
Yeah.
It's clear she blames Franklin for Alton's death.
That was very big. That was very, very big. And you know what's kind of crazy? I forget her name who plays her, but man, way to cut it on and off real quick, because she kind of came in kind of emotional. Then that joint quickly switched to like a whole different side of her, like that.
She was the informative character of the episode.
Yeah.
Clearly, they letting you know, old folks did LSD all the time. They fully understood the drug that they got hit with. Because when you pay attention to, she clearly said, oh, this is LSD. You got to go along with this because you're not getting over this.
Yeah, she said somebody told her. I was like, who?
Exactly. Nigga, ain't nobody tell you nothing. You just know what LSD is.
Yeah, that's what it was. She tried to hit her with the little birdie.
Yeah, Louie and Jerome did the same thing. So you see the people who were accustomed to the drug not overreact to anything. But here we are with Franklin. Franklin is a clean-cut person. Have you ever seen someone who's never done a drug on a drug before?
Yeah.
My goodness, it is the most irritating thing in the world. They will blow your high. It just happens everybody else was high. But again, it really showed just her paranoia and her insecurities and her worrying, because the first thing she does is automatically assume the people who she sent there to spy on the party were the ones who drugged everybody, which would make no sense. And if they're going to drug you, it ain't going to be with LSD.
What a wild episode. Now listen, after Louie that made a stop to Teddy, this next scene, when it was described that there was somebody outside coming to see Mr. Kane, I said, now I know Louie ain't out here making towns. I know she ain't about to just set up her whole little deal all in one day. But to maybe no surprise, it's Veronique, which I know everybody right now go crazy in the comments, because I knew y'all little light bulb was blinking crazy, like, oh, here it go. Here's where it's all going down. And it wasn't actually what everybody thought it was going to be. Y'all probably thought she was going to be in cahoots with him. But nah, she made it very clear, Mr. Kane, I need to know, because I don't know if I can trust my man, because he made it seem like it's all good because y'all made a deal.
Yep, I need to know what's going on.
Can I stay around, or I gotta go back to the crib with my mama? And he made it very clear that there's a deal in place, and I tend to keep my word. This is very lackluster to me.
I
was expecting something way more dramatic here. And you know, she wants to ensure that her and her baby's going to be safe. Otherwise, she got to go back with her folks. But he came and said, nah, it's all good, you know. And Veronique was out of her zone here. I don't think this was the call. But hey, as a mother, and whether y'all still think she's pregnant or not, whatever it may be, we're just going to go for what it is right now. It's a mother, and she's doing whatever she can to protect her soon-to-be infant, but her cub. And yeah, I mean, like, the tactic is dangerous as hell. I mean, she has no experience in this field, but
how though? She's a scammer. Like,
yeah, you're right.
You should know enough of the street life to know better than do that.
Maybe scammers act remotely, bro.
Yeah, no, not in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, they're at your door. They're at your door.
They're at your door. Not in the 80s. You should know better. But again, it just makes Kane come across. They hyped him up in one episode like the biggest threat in the world, and they have done everything to show that he was never a threat.
Yeah.
That should have been a scene with him saying, "We'll see."
Yeah.
As long as they follow through with what they're supposed to, it's no threat. If they don't, I'll kill you and your baby. It's a completely different scene if he reacts that way.
Yeah. That's why I don't know. I'm jump in the comments, folks, and let us know your thoughts about Mr. Kane thus far, because I was definitely underwhelmed with this whole little interaction. I mean, this could have been big. Veronique, who we already suspicious of, Kane, who already established himself as a heel, bad guy, whatever it may be. And this whole interaction was like, I got a question. Here's your answer. Thank you. I'm out of here. Like, huh? Like, that's it. Like,
Kane was supposed to be the tribal chief. What happened here? What happened here? You supposed to be the head of the table. We supposed to have been scared of Kane for the rest of the season.
Yeah, now it's just like, man. My man fell in line. And you supposed to be acknowledging him, and he acknowledged Veronique and Franklin. So I don't know.
Exactly. It makes no sense.
It's just a little weird to me. I don't know. And maybe, I know you all probably got theories. Maybe you're thinking like he's up to something still, because he does give you this whole little, like, I got something up my sleeve. But I also think that, well, maybe they called his bluff. Maybe he ain't as big and established as he is. And whatever it may be, maybe he's just happy to be out and the paper's coming through because he's part of the thing. But here's another thing. Because of the time jump, two things. I got to jump the gun a little bit on this one. So at this point, we know it's been 3 weeks. And Veronique is still worried about her protection.
Her safety. Yeah.
But she already got her reassurance because she went directly to him and found out. Why is it that a month later at the wedding, she's still acting like she has to be off hands with Franklin? That whole interaction at the wedding, like, you want me to go
with her leaving? And I'm just going to go home and go to sleep. No, you stay here. I still don't fully trust you. It's like,
yeah, it's super weird, bro. Like, I make it make sense. And by the way, while we're at it right now, Lucas, I feel like, I know what your statement was. You made the statement about, you said this show was only going to go about 2 more years time span.
Oh yeah, into the 90s, because once it hit into the 90s, there's no need to have a discussion about the crack era. Like, in the 90s is when that transition started to happen.
Yes. But in other news today, FX has announced that Snowfall has been renewed for the 6th and final season. So whether they ironed out a couple of more years or whatever it may be, we all realized that it was going to get to a point where, like, the show was going to have to wrap at some point. So, because there was going to be more story to be told.
I thought they would go into the beginning of the 90s. So unless we get a time jump after this season, they may want to cut this off at in 1990.
Yeah.
Or, oh my goodness, I never thought about something. What's the chance they cut it off at the Rodney King? incident. That was what, 91, 92? 91.
Yeah. Makes sense for a lot of people's storyline.
And it's in LA.
That's
like
true.
that could be the turning point and them cutting it off at that point. Basically the end of Contra and everything else technically went out with the first Bush's presidency, because he continued whatever plans he had when he was Reagan's vice president. So you're looking at around 92 when Bill Clinton took over. Like it was no need for the Contras. It was no need for any of that anymore by that point.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they're going to cut off, because at that point Teddy would stop producing product. There's no need for it anymore.
Yeah. So 91, they're not that far from it. So yeah, makes sense. Jerome now. Jerome, this is obviously pre-wedding. Say he's feeling good. He's healthy. Hasn't lost his temper in 3 weeks. Hasn't drank in 3 days, and that all changes in one little statement. Good old Louie saying, I went to go talk to Teddy. And he said, well, you know what? I'll take that drink now.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, I mean, he makes his statements. He declares, I'm not going to war with my own blood. Franklin will be pissed. But she says she's going to make him understand, yes, on the biggest night of their life, on a wedding, for whatever reason, and control their future. That's her whole thing. Very, very dangerous, because I don't get this. Your big night. Why are you out here deploying plan? But we all see how that all played out. I didn't get it at this point. I still don't agree with it at this point.
Not doing it at the wedding. Yeah, that was weird. But
they're trying to. I think she's trying to protect everybody by saying everybody was here.
I fully agree with her statement of, I'll make him understand. Like that makes sense, because she's basically saying we need to separate from you.
Yeah. Oh God, that decision Louie did at the end of the show. Can't wait to talk about that.
Oh man,
my skin's still crawling off that one.
Hey, she is a G. We've been talking about for a while that Louie was as close to Franklin and someone who could lead this operation as anyone in this entire, not just this season, but for a couple of seasons now. And she is playing these pieces to a T at this point.
But did she have to kiss Franklin on the lips?
Yes, that's the kiss of death.
No, that's her, pretty much her nephew.
it seemed, but I'm assuming they're taking it away from the more Italian mob setting. Where,
stop. I'm just
saying. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get there. But that's what I took that as meaning. Like, oh, the moment I saw the kiss, I said, oh, that's not good.
I said ill. 4 times. Ill. So that kissing my auntie.
That's not your auntie. That's not your real auntie.
Listen. He even said it. He even said it himself. He said that y'all been together so long, I already thought y'all was married. That's his auntie. They break up. That's his auntie. That's you already know how it is, bro.
I think it's because you saw the kiss on the lips as meaning something like extra, but
I thought it was like, you don't do that. You don't kiss. You don't kiss your family members on the lips, bro.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's a bunch of family members who kiss each other.
I know, and I'm absolutely against it. Do not come my way with that. Nope. Nope.
Oh shit. But again, I just thought the symbolism of that was like the kiss of death, which does not mean me killing you. It's the end of something. Yeah. You see it a lot in Italian things when they do the mob. I know you haven't seen a mob movie where another man grabs his man by his face and kisses him on the lips. And that is a signal that everything is over at this point.
That's what I am. I ain't doing that shit. I would have like, listen, here's a chariot card. This one has some witch on it or something. I think it means whatever. But
see, your ass want to do hoodoo. No, Joe.
I learned it from Amari Hartwick. Told me the best, bro. He know the hoodoo, the West Virginia style. You know what it is.
Oh man, look.
Let's talk about the wedding now, because now 4 months ahead, we're at the wedding. Scully is at the wedding, looking right. My man is to tail it up. But he's going to be off his religious stuff. But hey, we got the scene with Scully at the chocolate fondue fountain.
After he drugged everybody with LSD.
No, but this is before. This is before when he's like, wait, baby, what you doing with this chocolate over here? And he's like,
hey, that's the sign right.
My man was like, "Hey, baby, go get me some water." And I was like, "Oh boy!" I literally, I wrote in my notes, I wrote LOL and just held the L for like 30 characters.
Hey,
and I was just like, "Yo,
the
I know."
Moment he said for everybody, that tells you right what his plan was going to be.
Jeez,
and he did it. You know what? It was a great wedding gift. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Like, if you dose people with LSD, I do not believe in drugging people against their will. I want to be very clear about that before I say what I'm about to say. But if I was to be drugged against my will, it'd be great to do it at a wedding. Like, that is the perfect time, because he's thinking everyone knows each other. Everyone's relaxed. I'm just going to drop a little hit of this LSD in here.
A little bit. He went crazy. And on top of that, he said that was their wedding gift. So thank you.
Exactly. But you see, Jerome and Louie loved it.
Yeah,
because they knew the feel of it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, everybody loved it but Franklin. He was the only one.
Hey yo, my man Gustavo was on his head, bro. Oh my god, when he rolled down the hill, I died. I was like, yo, he's so wild, bro.
It's not just the roll down the hill; it was the sudden stop after rolling down the hill.
Oh my god, there's a lot to really unpack with all this, so we'll just kind of freestyle a little bit. I mean, the first thing is, hey, it's a Wanda sighting, folks. Wanda is here.
Looking for Wanda.
Been looking for her. Everybody thinks she's been the one that is up to setting them up, taking the money.
Nefarious actions when she up this joint just being the perfect property manager.
That's
she
right.
up this joint collecting rent money. Wanda's about her business.
Getting 5-star Yelp reviews. She out here doing her thing. I can't be mad at her, man. Look, pay her. She said she wanted a job and she got it, and she's working hard out here.
And then all of a sudden Franklin gave her the biggest hug in the world to let him know he loved and appreciated everything she did.
Listen, now, yeah, you're right, because if that was my girl, I'm like, bro, what is happening here? Because y'all look super friendly on that one. Like, everything was getting real fluffy in here for a moment.
That's when you could tell Wanda was not high.
Oh, for sure.
Because she wait a minute, this ain't normal.
And then Franklin went to the table and said, well, what was that ran across the table?
Hey, the moment he said, what's that? Hold on, what's under the table? And then all of a sudden, the moment he says that, then Jannard shows up. I said, wait a minute.
Jannard is out here. Look, yeah. That's he said, look, CBI did him wrong. He went to Little Rock. He out here still fighting.
No, this they daddy. Because remember, this the 80s. This they daddy.
Oh, this Big J. Oh, this Big J. Yeah,
that's how they started CBI.
Yeah, Big J out there, paving the way. He started out in Little Rock and ended up in Chicago, man. Look at him. That's where he got his boxing from in there and all that.
Hey, you saw him on the dance floor.
You saw him doing down. Hey, bro, that shit had me dying, bro, because I swear to God, you cannot have fun around black people, because people do that. You let them have a little fun. They like, yeah, let's see what you got, young blood. They end up throwing them, and it's all love. They hugged each other afterwards. I mean, that was wild, bro. That would have been a wedding I would have loved a bit too. Like, it should have been wild. But yeah, Jannard making an appearance here. Oh, Big J, before we get Lil Diamond and Jannard. Hey, look, they said they didn't know their daddy, so there we go. We got the backstory. We got just that quick. We got the backstory. But it was good to see. What's his name? Chris
Lofton.
Chris Lofton. Thank you.
Yeah.
Doing what he do, man. He even with a small scene, he really know how to elevate something.
Exactly.
So hopefully, we can talk to him soon. Because as Power and this gets to wrap up, that means people should be available to come chat with us again. These networks, man, they don't want us chatting with them because they're gonna spoil shit.
You get the rare opportunity to have someone currently on 2 huge seasons of the biggest season of Snowfall, and currently possibly the biggest season of Power at the same time as a reoccurring character, because this character is not going anywhere on Snowfall. Like, that's a very good get right there. And again, it was just nice to see them bring back up the family that we went to go see Louie and Jerome visit.
Yeah,
because
finally.
We had brought that up before. Like, well, where was this?
Yeah, it was up with Lil Rock. Yeah. And I also feel like maybe because Lil Rock is actually not just a idea of a plan, but it actually became a big thing, so that you can't really do too much with it. You kind of got to be like, we know it's there, but that's all.
I wonder, with Snowfall coming to an end with one more season, could we get a spinoff of Little
They're
Rock?
gonna do something. So here's my thing. I don't know how much faith I have in FX. No disrespect, FX, we love you, but when Pose went away, they didn't fill that gap, and that makes me really wonder. Like,
but remember, that's Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy ain't doing no spinoffs of nothing because he was already on to Netflix at that point, so he's not gonna do a different type of spinoff. Here with Snowfall, like, one, this is the amazing Walter Mosley, who's, if you don't know who that is, shame on you. First and foremost, he's a key executive producer of this show. So maybe that team is thinking, hey, we can end this main storyline with Franklin and bridge off to other things. Because again, you hired someone like Chris Lofton, who is a good enough actor.
Yeah,
he's good enough name. I meant not a good enough actor, good enough name of an actor that maybe you can branch the whole story. Because Little Rock is a completely different monster if you're going through that in the 90s.
Yeah,
and maybe that's something you do after the end of Snowfall to advance this story. And I just, again, it would be something this wedding just brought up a lot of interesting characters that we kind of forgot about, and it just reveals even more of the family from Little Rock, of Gustavo, and how hilarious it would be with anything with him of a spinoff of Teddy after everything that he does by the end of this episode. What's going to be his next actions once everything ends on Snowfall? Like, it just brings up questions.
Right. Nah, it bring up a good point, which is why I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, we got to get Chris Lofton on this show. We got to do that. This have them talk about both at the same time. Hey, but we do got some stuff coming, folks. Just FYI. So don't worry, we got you. But yeah, that's a really we got to make sure we do that. What's next? Well, let's continue to talk about it. It's not like, the whole wedding is bug right now. Mm-hmm. Everybody is tripping. Like I said, this man Franklin has the zoomies. He's bouncing all around.
Hey.
Veronique, though, is, again, going back to this point, she's still acting weird towards Franklin, even though she has sorted it out with Kane, and I just don't get her. But yeah, I just want to make sure I bring it up. But like, let's go to what we feel was some of the most interesting revelations of the LSD trip.
Of the trip.
Yeah, of the trip. Let's go to should we talk about Sissy? I mean, Sissy did realize that what she did, well, you kind of messed up, because this little random waiter that isn't random, you know who he is, who we do. I don't know if they've been said this before, but now we do know that this dude is from KJB, which I don't know. Is this the first time we've heard this, right?
I think so.
Right. And his whole idea is that this is weird. She went to Leon and said, Leon, the KJB are trying to kill Franklin. Who is she? What?
Look, it's amazing what an acid trip will make you say.
What?
She's out this junk giving it up with no issue. Immediately paranoid that they drugged everybody. Like, she was out of her mind, and it's the guilt that came along with it the moment she saw him when she picked up the glass of when he offered her the glass of champagne. Like, she understood. I think she understood then that she may have put something in motion that she thought at one point in time she could control, and now she's realizing you have no control over this situation. And eventually this could lead to the downfall of his son, because they don't care. They're trying to get the Teddy, and they will go through anybody possible to get to him. And again, her acid trip was just the final revelation of herself that I messed up. Because you could tell her complete reaction to everything is, I messed up. I should not have done it this way. But then she also reveals again with that conversation with Franklin, when she blames him for everything that happened with Alton, that she's attempting to say, this is the reason why I did it.
Were you for any moment thinking she was gonna say Alton's still alive?
No, because
it felt really close to it for me.
I believe he is still alive.
I do too.
I believe she doesn't know it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because so far we have Teddy on a completely unmentionable person for no reason saying, "I didn't kill Alton." When he told his future, the head of the CIA, when he took back over again, you're like, "I didn't kill his father." Then you have Franklin clearly saying he didn't kill him. So is it a chance that Alton is actually still alive? So I didn't think he would come out, because I still believe he's alive. I didn't think she would come out and say that. What I thought is that she would try to dig way too much into Franklin's business, and with them having everything tapped, too much stuff would get out.
Yeah, I mean, that's still to be determined too. Like, what did they get? Because and how?
Absolutely nothing. Like, because they didn't. It seems like they didn't.
Well, Franklin was very right. You're right, and I feel like Franklin always toted that line. Like, I felt like we were all waiting for that big, like, oh my god, he said that. He got really close with White Boy Rob.
Yeah,
but that's the closest he got with anything. But everything else, really, he just got really close to the line. Then he kind of reeled back, and it's obviously he didn't know what he was doing. But like, it never was that big. Like, oh, he's in trouble for that one. So
yeah,
right. But to your point, like, the whole system they set up, I don't think they got anything either. Now, I don't think so either. I don't think there's going to be any bit of like a y'all didn't see that coming type of moment with that. I just think they just didn't get anything. That's just my hope with that. So, but yeah, I was definitely expecting her to be like, yeah, he's still alive. I thought she was gonna say something crazy, but I don't know. All right, but what about Leon now? I know you said you had some things to say with him. So what you got on that?
Okay, Leon Luther King Jr.
Yeah, it is my guy.
He's still out here. He out here fighting the good fight for all black people of all races. Like, but again, it just showed his situation with Wanda when he was talking, doing the complete sincere thing. And I know for y'all don't know what the sincere thing is, I need y'all to watch Belly again. When he out this show talking about going to Africa and all, I think it was Avi who was having that conversation with him.
Yeah,
about where to go and to see what
that's just so crazy. That's just so crazy. Like, get out the country and live and
see the people who defeated. Go to Vietnam. Yeah. See the people who defeated the United States. Nigga, no. Why would you go there? You don't want to go there. You don't want to go to Vietnam. But this is the idea of him going back to Africa, but him going to Wanda about it. Because again, we understood that Leon is not fully over Wanda. This just certified to us that she is, though. Because for her to say too much stuff has happened, why are you saying this now? That's basically her saying, like, everything that's happened, everything that we've been through, I kind of always wanted you back in this way. This ain't the time. Because again, a lot of it goes to the point that Wanda's not high. And I think it hurt her more than anything that Leon has been extremely stoic when it comes to Wanda, because he never wants to reveal how much he cares, how much he loves her. And you wait till you're on LSD to reveal this to her. That hurt more than anything.
I didn't get that at all. I'm way more shallow on this one. Way more shallow. Man. Look, Wanda got a check, so she don't need these niggas no more. That's it. She leveled up and she fuck all that.
Oh, so, God damn it. Wanda is not Destiny's Child.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She ain't become an independent woman and say fuck these niggas.
Hey yo, I'm trying to tell you, bro. She called a check, she got a bag, and she said fuck these niggas, and that was it. She said, I'm done, man. I'm not fucking with her.
Hold up. Don't tell me property management is the Instagram bag of the 80s.
Listen,
that's the Fashion Nova bag of the 80s.
Listen, man, and then it evolves into a RN. Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, this learning, this curve, look here.
Wanda's definitely becoming an RN.
100%. 100%. So yeah, all right. I guess we gotta talk about Franklin on his trip. I mean, yeah, he got visited by Rival Rob. He got visited by himself. He got visited by
Veronique.
Veronique. He got a lot of visits, and like you said, it was just a matter of him having his demons revisit him, and just especially
and a moment of self-reflection when he's visited by himself.
Yeah, because that was, and I thought, the performance here is just really good.
Because the whole time he was fighting the trip, like he felt it coming and he kept on fighting it. And again, the one thing you don't do under any circumstance, let me tell you, if you get that high, do not fight it. The more you fight it, the higher you get.
Yeah. I don't know what else to kind of add to that. I think like those things are pretty much, and you all can kind of jump in and kind of chime in on it, because those things just had a lot of just moments of just pointing back to previous times. I think the biggest thing to take from it is that like he still have these demons, and I think this tidbit of this whole like, you think you're helping people thing. That's something you've been saying a lot too, baby. It's like, you're like, acting like, he's not acting like he's some type of neighborhood hero, but he feels like his business is like pushing the neighborhood into a positive space. But we all know how with the crack epidemic did.
You're destroying your neighborhood trying to build a Queen's Child's project. It never works out properly. You can't. You can't. I understand everybody believes you can use drug money to change a complete change around your neighborhood. The problem is, normally to keep that supply going, to keep that money going, you still have to pump into that same neighborhood.
Yeah,
that's the problem, especially for Franklin, because again, Snowfall is the beginning. It represents the beginning, the most potent part of the crack era.
Yeah.
I say again, this season opened up with the story of Len Bias. Like, we're so far removed from Len Bias that most people don't even understand how could any drug do that to you.
That ain't nothing but the damn truth right there. Yeah. So by the way, shout out to whoever that was that tried to get in the comments that ain't really what happened, but I just
wait. They tried with Len Bias?
Yes.
What are they? Are they 12? Do they not understand that story? Like I remember being a very, very, very young child and knowing about that story, because that's all people talked about. Because if you get anybody over the age of 45, they will gladly have an argument with you that Len Bias is better than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, they're just talking about how his death happened. It wasn't really the real story or whatever. I don't have time for that right now.
He had a cocaine overdose because he had a heart condition. You damn right it didn't happen exactly. It's possible it did not happen exactly like that, but I'm pretty sure you don't know.
Yeah,
because he gone.
Conspiracy theorists, man. Yeah, you're right.
His brother gone. Like both of them died the same thing. His brother died at PG Plaza. There's no way you would know, because I'm pretty sure unless you are like a long lost relative, you would not know. But again, that's not here nor there. I just think that from the beginning of the season, we understood just the seriousness and the point of the crack epidemic that we are in. Yeah. And we understand where Franklin stands in it and what Franklin believes he's doing.
Yeah, and
the bodies that lies at wake around him. Like his conversation with Veronique when he was having that trip was really about taking accountability for your action.
Man,
his conversation with Rob was about taking accountability of your action. His conversation with himself was about taking accountability of your actions. Like that is an ongoing theme that's going through the season with Franklin. Is you're trying to put the blame on everybody else.
Yeah.
This is you. It's all on you.
And not to mention too, like, just in case you all don't know, like the whole symbolic nature of the title screen is showing you the deterioration of the town and the community that he's supposedly building.
I gotta ask you a question, because it's something I noticed in about episode 3 of this season.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that depending on the episode, they show you the depiction when they show you the Snowfall logo of the destruction of whatever lies in Franklin's wake, versus when they show you the other one where it shows you the glitz and glamour of the lifestyle that Franklin is in. Like Snowfall has done a great job of whenever you see the logo at the beginning of an episode, the beginning of a season, you get to see the progression of everything. Like I love the point in the earlier seasons when you saw that logo deteriorate over the season. Here you're seeing logo deteriorated, and then you see the Mirror logo, which in the 80s represented like the most class, the most of everything that you could put, the ambiance of what the 80s represents. Versus at times this season, you saw that other logo, which shows the destruction that lies in Franklin's wake. And this episode is Franklin coming to that realization, or through this drug trip, that he's destroying everything in his wake.
Yeah.
It's no longer about communities.
Yeah.
He's destroyed his own family at this point.
Yeah.
He's destroying his possible relationship with his child. Like, that's what I loved about Franklin's LSD trip in this episode.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say that there's somebody on YouTube that has a whole montage of all of them all together. And it's the best depiction of understanding that exact narrative and narration that you added to that, which they need to hit you up so you can throw some voiceover on it and really like make that thing do some numbers. But it's really dope.
Hey,
like,
you know what? I got the voice to do it. I'm telling them.
Yeah. Don't you do reaction videos too?
Next on Snowfall.
Hey yo, all right, we gotta finish this episode. All right, but
the shade my partner throws at me is ridiculous.
Hey, shade, you're an animated person.
I do not
animated.
I do not do reaction videos, but you can check out my new podcast with Amaya with the Big Gold Belt Network. Check it out if you respectfully. But I do not do reaction videos. I do.
we do got a bunch. We do got a bunch of content, and I definitely want to make sure I get to promoting that soon for all folks loving what we do with our reviews and recaps. There is a whole nother extension branch of other content coming, as he mentioned, with podcasts, where things are going to be off the rails. There's going to be no structure. There's going to be no making sure we go down the list of events. It's going to be whatever we want to talk about. We going at that. So keep an eye out for way more content coming out. We working out here. But let's talk about Franklin and the last thing he did in the trip. He called Taggy and said, "Hey, I know you're trying to kill me, but I'm gonna kill you first." So there's that. I feel like this was the most trippiest thing he said of the entire thing.
This is
the paranoia part of the trip.
This is why when you're high, you never need to be able to communicate with people. Because I love the point that they showed him make that call, and at the time we didn't understand if it was in his head he was doing it or not.
Bingo.
And then you see the transition that he literally called Teddy and said this to him.
Yeah.
And Teddy's reaction at first, it seemed like he understood that something wasn't right with Franklin, but he also understood that you're telling me the truth.
Yeah.
Because he didn't outright threaten him. He just said, if it becomes between me and you, it's gonna be you.
Yeah.
And then my girl, my masturbating Colombian queen, or
Persia,
masturbating Persian queen of this show, like, hey, let's go to his house. We know where he is right now.
Yeah.
Let's get this information. And again, a very pivotal point of this episode is Teddy taking photos of all of Franklin's business plans.
Yeah, so he can submit it to that other dude, so he can do all this other things, consolidate all the money and accounts into one thing.
All that money going hey, if you don't understand how important it was when he had that conversation with that guy about putting all that money in one place, that way he knows where everything is, versus him taking pictures of all of Franklin's business, all of Franklin's accounts, versus him making a deal with Louie. Boy, does it seem like he's trying to replace Franklin right now.
Yeah. So what else we got here? Leon trying to lead the country with Wanda, blah 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 blah.
Leon up this joint doing his best sincere. Man, it's beautiful. Africa, man. This is where our people are from. Him and T-Boss, Leon and T-Boss about to go straight to Africa, Joe.
Listen. Leon got to tread the line really close, because he may end up in Hotep area if he keeps this up, man. My man is
Leon already a Hotep at this point, Joe. I'm just waiting for a dashiki. That's it. That's the end of it. The moment I see it, it's because she's so sissy at the wedding with the African dress on. All I'm waiting for is Leon to have a dashiki. He came with the little I'm fresh out of prison. I'm trying to get a job interview. Checker shirt and tie combination at the wedding.
Hey,
that's all he's missing is the dashiki, Joe.
Go ahead.
But,
well,
let me also say that for people who were not alive, I know a lot of y'all are younger than me. Y'all don't really understand just how fun the 80s was. This episode, down from the music to the outfits to the like it still does what Snowfall does best, is just bring you back to the fun that the 80s was.
Yeah.
Like the block parties and stuff that neighborhoods used to do that they can't do no more. And stuff like this wedding, this celebration between Louie and Jerome.
Yeah.
Like this is the fun of the 80s, and it's on full display because this is black ambiance during the 80s.
Hey, the music
by drugs.
And the music was on point too. It was a vibe, man.
All I was waiting for is somebody to play Purple Rain soundtrack.
It was getting
you play a little I Would Die For You. You know, little Darling Nikki. little PYT from Thriller. That's all you need.
Wait, when did Purple Rain come out?
Like 88?
Yeah.
80, maybe 86, somewhere in that area.
I can look it up. I was just
ain't it that important? I'm just old. I'm just reminiscing on like one of the things that Snowfall does very well.
84. Yeah.
Well, yep. Thriller came out in 82, the year I was born. So yeah, Purple Rain came out a couple years later.
Yeah.
Sign of the Times came out in 88. That's Prince's best album, FYI, for anybody who wants to know. But again, like it just shows just the ambiance of the 80s, and this wedding is a key element of it. And now we got to get to the key element of the episode.
Yeah. Louie tonguing her nephew down. That's what it was. But nah, she said, Buckley, do the job. And here's my thing. Buckley they got them in place. They're getting ready to make a move on Kane. It looks like he's going to fully execute it. But here's the thing. Everybody has a alibi because they're
at the wedding.
Because they're at the wedding. Except for Scully. He left, by the way. Just for shits and giggles. So he's making a move, and they're getting ready to get their guy, and that's part of Louie's deal with him. I guess she paid the money, and it's all good, and that's why it had to happen at the wedding, because this was the only time they can get everybody all together.
And this gave Buckley the time frame that he talked about in the last episode, that he needed to know as much information humanly possible on Kane.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is the episode with a slight cliffhanger to see if he execute, if Kane might have been prepared, did they actually get their guy, what happens. And yeah, it looks like Kane is definitely about to get Tupac, because they definitely got him right on his shit.
Wow.
Yeah, they rolled up on the sun, so it is what it is, but we got to see how it play out. But yes, that will do it for episode 8. We got 2 more from this season, I believe.
Yep, 9 to 10. It's not 13 episodes of Snowfall, is it?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It could be 10, 11, 12, 13. We're here for all of them.
Hey, we're here for everything. That's what we do.
And we obviously will be here for the final season, as I said, has been announced for their final season and all that. This was a funny episode, but there was some very juicy tidbits in it. I definitely laughed more than I thought I would. Franklin was a complete nut.
My man didn't know.
Idris did his thing. Yeah, he didn't know where the hell he was at. He
didn't know what to do. Gustavo was the man in this episode. His trip was amazing.
I told you, him being high is the funniest entertainment period. So
the little dancing montage that they did, come on, son, you can't beat that. To my guy rolling down that damn hill with that sudden stop. I'm never gonna get over that sudden stop.
So funny, yeah, so funny. Oh man. But folks, let us know your favorite parts about tonight's episodes, your thoughts, predictions, and theories, all that other good stuff you always all bring each and every episode. And we'll be back next week for another and more Snowfall content. See you then, folks.